Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. Community policing is alive and well in Chicago, even if CAPS, which is different, the federally funding program, may have its funds drying out. We still will have monthly meetings. And as a matter of fact, it was my pleasure to see my next guest at the last CAPS meeting of 2412. I'd like to welcome him, somebody who's been on the show before, somebody who ran for office, is a very involved citizen in the community, and I'll let him tell you about it. We're talking about Ahmed Khan. Ahmed, how you doing?
Hi, Avi. How are you?
Good, and thank you so much for
No,
coming.
thanks for having me on the show. I know it's been a while, but it's always a pleasure, and I just wanted to, before we get started, wish everybody a happy holidays.
Thank you, and the same to you. And listen, everybody's got their holidays this time of year, so what do I call it? Merry Kwanzaakas? I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
In any event, no, listen, you're still being involved. I mean, even though the election's over and most people go away after an election, you've been very, very involved in the community. I see your presence on Facebook. You're on Chicago's Every Block. You've even got something published over there, which is kind of cool. And, tell us about what's going on. What are the issues that are important to you?
Well, absolutely. I mean, since the last election, I've been very fortunate enough to have been able to be involved in a lot of different community organizations. I mean, I'll name a few of those. I mean, I'm a board member at the West Rogers Park Community Organization right now. I was elected this past summer to be vice chair of the IVIPO, which is Independent Voters of Illinois Precinct Organization.
Independent Precinct Organization.
Yeah, I was elected.
I remember when there actually used to be a separate IVIPO.
Yeah, and then there's a whole history behind that. It's on their website.
Yeah.
But I was elected to be vice chair of the Far North chapter, which encompasses 49th Ward, 50th Ward, Niles Township, and Evanston Township.
Wow.
And
who's the chair?
Jacob Kaplan.
Don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure that he comes on the show maybe.
Cool.
But also, I'm also on the board of directors at the Heartland Health Centers, which is a nonprofit organization that has numerous health clinics around the city.
Including at Toohey and Bell, where they handle people who are indigent, who are unable to pay for their own health care.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right here in our West Rogers Park, they have a clinic there. I also serve on the associate board of an organization called Apnaghar, which is a domestic violence shelter. And lastly, I was elected earlier this year to be a community representative at Stone Scholastic Academy's local school council.
Oh, very nice.
So a lot of different avenues to be active, and I'm very grateful for those. And there's a lot of great things that are happening there. I mean, the organizations do what they do, but, trying to stay active also on the grassroots level with issues that are personally important to me.
Do you actually work for a living besides for...
yeah, I do.
So do you work for your dad?
Actually, right now, yes. I'm at the store.
You can plug it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Parberty Foods on Devon and Bell.
I've been there. It's a nice store.
Just helping with the management of that right now.
Very nice. And, yeah, it's been there. I moved into the neighborhood a lot longer than I care to admit, and it was there when I moved in, so it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's cool. So, yeah, you got to be able to do... I'm listening to all these organizations. It's like, how can he afford this? He's got to have a salary from somewhere.
No, I do.
By the way, I'm the same way. I've been a member of 14 organizations and barely make any money, but that's another story.
But it's fun. It's fun,
It is fun.
You get to meet a lot of different people.
You're doing good things for you're doing good things for your fellow man and your neighbors.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And speaking of that, you know what? We've had some traffic problems around here. I know that's a subject you've written about.
Absolutely, yes. So I guess the whole story started on about November 14th. Suring Dorji, I believe his name is, who was vice president at the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
He's a Cook County clerk employee, father of three and a husband. He was struck and killed on the corner of Devon and Maplewood by a hit-and-run driver. And he was crossing the street with his brother-in-law, and his brother-in-law died 10 days later. And then, if that wasn't enough, about December 1st, a couple weeks later, there was a 3-car accident, pretty big, and right in front of Sabri Nahari Restaurant, located at Devon and Campbell. So this got
Which is half a block away.
Yeah, and so this got me thinking that, a lot of these accidents are happening. Does it take somebody to die for us to start realizing this? I mean, there are a lot of close encounters on Devon Avenue, particularly, not to mention the entire ward, but because it is such a vibrant business district, you have a lot of, close calls that you're either 1 second or 1 inch away from something happening. And so I did a little research, and I'd like to share some of that with you.
Sure.
So according to the City of Chicago 2011 Pedestrian Crash Analysis Summary Report, this is a City of Chicago official report, among 12 high crash corridors for fatal and serious injury crashes during the study's 5-year period, within Chicago's neighborhoods outside of the central business district, which is downtown, around downtown. So Devon Avenue, stretching from Sacramento to Levitt, it was ranked 11th out of those 12. While that may not be that striking that, hey, you're 11th on a list of 12, but that's taking into account the thousands of streets and intersections in the entire city of Chicago. So moving forward, in addition, the intersections with the highest overall pedestrian crashes and highest fatal and serious injury pedestrian crashes were identified. Again, Devon Avenue, passing through the 50th Ward, was listed on the map as one of these locations for highest crashed locations. And so doing a lot of this research and moving on with that, it led me to uncover that this past summer, the city of Chicago released a Chicago pedestrian plan. It was a summary report by the city about different suggestions that the city could is making to improve pedestrian safety. And so I took 2 of these suggestions, very low-cost options according to the report, and wrote a letter to our 50th Ward alderman. I mean, these 2 were highly visitable crosswalk markings. These are the markings that at the intersections where it's designated for them to cross. I mean, there are numerous streets in the 50th Ward that these have faded or are completely invisible right now. And the second thing is, maybe you and the other viewers have noticed that in road state of Illinois crossing signs. I'll actually say what it's actually called. Yeah, in-road state law stop signs for pedestrians.
Yeah, beware of, be careful or
right,
whatever.
And so it is a state law to stop for pedestrians at these intersections. And so I thought that, let me get this together and write this letter.
See, I think that's a really good idea, and frankly, being a walker and I get to see this stuff, besides for the fact that we have some of the absolutely worst drivers. It's a great neighborhood. We've got so many good things. But when I see people trying to make U-turns in the middle of rush hour on Devon Avenue, or I see people completely oblivious to the fact that there are stoplights at Devon and Rockwell, among other places.
True. That's another location.
It's like I'm almost surprised there aren't more. And frankly, there are some things like that going on the other side of California.
Right,
and I think I'm with you 100%. I think whatever we can do to help that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, for the fact, after my letter was sent and I put the letter out on Facebook and Every Block and other avenues because I wanted the broader community to know about this and also get involved, the stop for pedestrian signs did show up at Albany and Devon. That's a block away from Kedzie. And one actually showed up right where the individual was hit on Devon and Maplewood. So I did get a response from the alderman about that as of yesterday. But because quite some time had passed since my original letter, my father, who being a business owner on Devon Avenue for over 25 years, he's been a special service area commissioner for Devon, active member of the Western Chamber of Commerce, he thought that the actual placement of the signs was not really well researched and well thought out. So he sent a subsequent letter as of yesterday also, not knowing the response. And
I'm glad you said that, and we are running out of time, but you know what? The fact that they're doing it, it's nice that they're doing it, but if you're going to do it right.
Yeah, I mean,
and
he
take
suggested
a couple more days
that,
and talk to people who know what they're doing like your father.
Try to find out the higher pedestrian locations near some of the larger grocery stores where people are there's more pedestrian traffic, and try to put them at those locations rather than just putting them anywhere. He also demanded that they do paint all the crosswalks. And third, if people aren't aware of these things, put signs in business windows and, take ads in local newspapers telling people about this.
At this point, you only got time to give your contact information. Ahmed Khan, thank you so much. If people want to contact you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. It's AhmedKhan. And
I'm friends with them. You can be friends with them, and then you can friend me too if you like. Ahmed Khan, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Always good to have a good neighbor on the show. Thank you.